Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Mindset Monday with our title today being Work Life Balance? Nah, let's talk about freedom. And that's what I want to talk about today. I'm super excited to be here, as I usually am, to visit with you guys. So I see you filing in, and I love that. You guys are so timely. 8:30 and 8:30 it is. All right, guys. I just got back from a week vacation with my family, and it felt good to get away like it usually does, right? I think when we get away, we can refuel and come back with fresh ideas, fresh vibes, and things that seemed really big before might not seem so big now. Can you guys relate to that? When we get a little distance and a little time and we come back and we're like, life is life, guys, right? Well, I want to talk a little bit about um, how hard we all work, pouring our energy, our time, our money into our businesses. And it takes up a lot of time. And I was thinking back because today our topic is freedom is the new wealth. Think about that for a minute, right? If we had more freedom to live our lives in a way that we could envision our lives to be, that would feel rich, wouldn't it? It would feel wealthy. And I was thinking about that um, while I was gone, especially because I think when we first start our careers and we first decide that we want to be a business owner or we want to be a technician or we want to be a manager, or we want to be a leader, whatever it is that we say we want to be, we envision what that's going to look like, right? We can see ourselves doing it. We start visualizing what it's going to look like. We maybe have mentored or watched other people. And because we've visualized our work so much and what we want our work to actually look like, it's the thing that completely takes over our world is the thing that we visualize because we manifest the things that we can see. I don't know if you guys believe that, but I am a believer that if I can see it, it's going to happen. If it's not on my radar and I don't see it, then there's chances are it's not going to happen. And so when we first start our careers, we're really visualizing this thing, this ownership, this leadership, this technicianship, whatever it is that you're visualizing your career to be. And the one thing that gets lost when we are building and in creation mode is ourselves. And the thing that I've noticed, and I noticed this with myself, and I've noticed this with inside my coaching with my coaching clients, is we forget to visualize or write down or really see what we want our lives to look like. And when I say our lives, I don't just mean our work lives, but what do we want our whole life to look like? And the error of our ways is that we're so focused on the creation of the career that we want, which rightly so, we have to be focused on the career that we want to manifest that. But once we're in it, I believe we need to step back and say, now, how do I want this to integrate into my personal life to where I have the freedom to also do the things that I want to do? Yes, we have to work hard to gain a certain level of financial stability in order to do that. But I don't want us to forget that visualizing what we want our lives to look like matters. You know, we've been hearing about vision boards for years, right? Make a vision board. I have to tell you, like, those work. Vision boards work because you're setting out a vision of what you want your life to look like. So, I know you're going to be able to relate to me when I share with you my experiences. You guys know, if you follow me, that I've been an owner. I'm going on 32 years. And I've seen a few generations come and go. For those of you that have been in the business for a long time, like I have, I've seen a few different generations come and go, right? I've seen the generation that I came in with where we worked 5, 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. And we were just, that was our world. That's what we lived in. And as time went on and different generational ideas and lifestyles started to take over, right? We started seeing that we would be interviewing people and people wanted to work 3 days a week or 4 days a week or 5 or 6 hours a day. And I remember that used to really bother me. I used to think to myself, do people not want to work? I mean, what is going on? And what I got was is that people don't want to work like that, like me, like their predecessors. They don't want to work where they don't have a life. And the thing that used to drive me insane, because we used to always say, we all said this, we can't find people that have a work ethic. And I started studying this because I had to study it, because to be an owner, you have to be able to evolve and change with the times. So I started thinking to myself, is it really about work ethic? Or is it about more of a balance between integrating the freedom of the life that I want in with the work that I need to do in order to have that freedom? And so that's the concept today. That's the mindset. The mindset is if we want freedom, and whatever that looks like for you, if that's that, I want to be able to enjoy my days off without 800 calls. I just want a day off. I want some help. I want to be able to go on a vacation when I want to go on a vacation for as long as I want to go on a vacation. Whatever it looks like to you, we have to first see it. We have to first visualize what we want our own lives to look like. And then work becomes a vehicle to get to the life that we want. And that's no matter what you do. That's no matter if you're a stylist. That's no matter if you're an owner, a manager, a leader. How do I take this vehicle called my work and turn it into just that, the vehicle that gets me to the destination, and the destination being my life and what I want it to look like? So I gotta say, I learned a lot, and I'm still learning from the generations, the new generations, Gen Y, Gen Z, that are coming in, that are saying, this is how I want to work. Now, and I know that there also is some hallucination in that thinking. When people just get out of school, they just start their career, and they're like, I want to work 3 days a week, because I see all over social media that you can be successful and create your own hours and come in only when you have a client. And I know that's not the case. And that's not what I'm talking about when I say, how do you want your life to look? If we, as leaders and leaders of our own life, have a clear vision of what we want our lives to look like, we can then start mapping out what work needs to look like for us to have that. But what I find is we are so in the weeds half the time that the decisions we're making as we move through our business are weed decisions, not global, big, I can see the forest through the trees. They are decisions we're making in the weeds that we're in, because we don't have a higher purpose of operating. When I first start working with a client in my coaching world, because I have my salon owner world and I have my coaching world, when I first start working with a new client, one of the first things I ask, and some of my clients that will join in, I know that you can comment on this, is, what do you want your life to look like? What do you want your own life to look like? And so many times what I get back is a deer in the headlights. People are just like, well, what do you mean? I'm hiring you because I have a problem, or I have a project, or I have an issue that needs solving, like, and you're asking me what I want my life to look like. Yeah, because if we don't know what you want your life to look like, and you don't know what that is, then the decisions we make are, we're zigzagging all over the West Coast to try to get to the East Coast without a roadmap. And a lot of, once people process what the answer is for them, and the answer is different for everybody. Some people want to step away from being a technician so that they can work on their business instead of in it. Some don't want to, some want to be a technician, but they still need the leadership in their business. So that's a different decision. There's not a right or a wrong. There's not an only way to do things. But if you don't know what you want your life to look like, how are we going to make the decisions that help you to get exactly what you want and what you envision? It took me a really long time to enjoy the wealth called freedom, because I didn't understand that I needed to create a specific roadmap for that to happen. My only vision for myself was that I wanted to be a successful owner, and I wanted to help grow people. And I did that, and I still do that. But when I put the focus on my own life and said, inside doing that, what elements do I want in my own personal life that I am going to start needing to veer over to make decisions over here, to make sure that if I want to be home a little bit more because my son is a certain age, or if I want to be able to be home to make dinner, or if I want to make sure to make breakfast and want to work evenings, whatever it is, the decisions I make today are going to get me to where I'm going to be in the future. Just like where we are right this moment, where you are sitting, if you're sitting and listening to this, where you are in your life this very moment is due to all the decisions that you've made to get to this very moment. You didn't get here on accident. You got here because of all of the micro and macro decisions that you made to get here. And maybe your vision was to be a top salon owner, to be in the top 200, to be in the top 5% in the country, to have a profit of such, to have this many team members. And so you have made those decisions to get where you are. But if you don't have anything going on that you like in your personal life, then you haven't made decisions to figure out a way to have both. And that's where the strategy comes in. And we put so much strategy into our businesses, which we have to. Because if you want to live the other side of that and have that freedom called wealth, wealth is freedom is the new wealth, then it's a strategy to make decisions over here so that we can have the freedom over here, right? So how many days a week are we working? How many days are we behind the chair? How are the decisions that we're making in every layer of our business affecting where we are today? The layers that I always talk about: education, culture, operations, leadership, finance. These are the layers on the cake that make up this beautiful cake that we have called our business. And so there has to be systems and strategies in each layer in order to start working towards this thing that we want in our personal life. So throw me some love in the comments. Ask me any questions. What are your thoughts on this? You know, is this something you need to work on? Is this an area that you want to dive into? Because if we keep doing what we're doing, finish the sentence, we're going to keep getting what we get. So if we like where we are in our personal life and we have what we need and we have the freedom that we want, great, keep doing what we're doing. But if you want to see something different, there are steps to take to make sure that the business isn't compromised and you can then enjoy the life the way you envision it to be. So, okay, let's take a look at, you know that I'm going to have steps for you guys. If that's, you know, the direction you want to go, there are steps to doing this. And I have to tell you, like, one of the biggest joys of my coaching business is when I work with owners, especially the owners that that I've worked with for a while, because getting to this place doesn't happen overnight. Because you want something doesn't mean it's the, I mean, we live in the immediate gratification era, but this is not immediate gratification. These are specific steps that we take in order to strategically get us to where we want to be. And there's nothing that lights me up more than working with clients, salon owners and leaders. When I first ask them that question and I get the deer in the headlights, like, what do you want for your life? And they're like, what do you mean? Right? To a place where they've stepped back from doing hair. They have been able to carve out time to create the systems then that need to be created in order to have that freedom. Getting your pricing right. If you're a super busy owner, getting your pricing right, making sure that you're moving back from doing what you're doing, giving clients to other people, building your team up so that they're creating the life that they want. So a few steps that I wanted to throw your way to help you if this is a place that you are looking to improve, that you want more freedom in your life. Con, every stage of your journey, you create a new vision board. I know you do. And I love those vision boards. You guys can see, if you're on my Facebook feed, I'll turn it. You can see my vision board that I made. It's time for me to create a new one, but I created this and I look at it and I think to myself, here, I'll turn my Instagram. 1, 2, I think you can see. There you go. I look at this and I'm like, holy crap. I'm living inside that vision because I carved out time to create that for myself. So now, Con, yes, I think it's time for a girl weekend, Con. We need to do a vision board party, which I think would be our next activity. If you guys get together with people that you love, your friends, and have a vision board party, and I guarantee you, you'll start moving closer to where you want to be, because I have 4 steps today that I want to share with you. Step 1 is create your personal vision or your life vision. And so we know if you can put down in detail what you want that to look like, you're going to get closer to having it than if you are just in the weeds of your business trying to catch some air, trying to breathe, always fighting fires. You're going to fight fires. You're going to find yourself in the weeds sometimes. But it's a lot more inspiring to go to work and fight those fires and do the things that we have to do for our business and we get to do for our business when we have a higher purpose. And the higher purpose is the freedom that we get. So create a personal vision. Now, if that's you journaling because you're better at writing things down, I'm a visual person. So for me to get out magazines and start creating a vision board, that's great. But you have to visualize what you want that to look like. 2, create business goals. Your business goals are going to be the vehicle that get you to that life that you want. So when I say create business goals, what I'm referring to is if you can break your business up into some of those layers, right? You might have different layers that you break them up into, but we look at these, what my friend Con calls buckets. And we have this bucket called education, operations, leadership, finance, culture. Maybe you have more buckets, right? But in each one of those buckets, if I took it as an individual piece and I didn't group it all together in the cake mix, but I took this layer separately called education, let's just say, and in education, because that could be hiring, onboarding, education, growth, right? Like that could be the bucket. Do I have systems running to make sure that my hiring, I'm constantly training, people are constantly going out on the floor? That is the key to sustainability. We should all know that by now, that if we don't have an education program, we're not constantly hiring, we're not constantly training people, we know that then when people leave, we're stuck, and our revenue is stuck and the morale gets stuck. So we always have to be infusing, right? So when you look at that bucket, do you have the systems and strategies in place in this bucket called education? If not, then that's something that you can start working on to creating strategies. Finance. If you don't have a handle on your finances, this is a really big one, right? Because you're going to have the finances in order to do the things in your business that you need to do to get it strategically up and going. And you're also going to need it for your own paycheck. How many owners do I work with when I first start working with them that are not taking a paycheck if they're not a technician? This is heartbreaking for me. This doesn't have to be this way, you guys. I promise you. If you have one location or 5 locations, whatever it is, you should be able to be taking a sole paycheck above and beyond you being a technician. Please listen to me. If that is not happening, then we need to talk. You need to DM me, because this is possible. I promise you, I've been doing it for 16 years. I promise you, it's not that I'm an anomaly and that it's only because, I'm doing what I do that I don't have to do services to get a paycheck. No, we have to run our businesses in a certain way. So are your finances, do you need help there, right? So what do you need to do in that area? What do you need to do in operations to make sure that operationally you have the support that you need and you have the right people in place, that you're not putting a square peg in a round hole trying to cram that in there, and then you have to keep running back and fighting fires. That's another place, right? So if we kind of take all these buckets, so when I say create business goals, that's 2. 3 is make a plan. The plan is in each one of these areas. Do you have a plan to start getting them moving? Each one of these areas. And I have to say, like, it might sound overwhelming, but it is fun. Like, creating is fun. And when you have the higher purpose called freedom, then you're creating it for a purpose, not just because it's the same daily grind. And for you technicians, if you're listening and you want more freedom in your life, then what you need to look at is, what are your buckets? Your buckets are doing services, it's selling retail, it's getting more clients, it's pre-booking your clients. So all of the buckets that you have as stylists should be operating at 100%, so that you could start creating that wealth that you want to get the freedom that you want. So no matter what the job is that you currently have at hand, you have opportunities to create the life that you want, the vacations that you want. It's just strategy. We don't just say, I'm not getting it here, so I give up and I go somewhere else. No, how do I literally put my foot down and get persistent and get structured and get consistent, so that I can get these different layers up and going to create then what I want to create, which is have a beautiful business, be able to be there and be involved in it and watch people thrive and grow and fight fires and do the shitty work. Yes, I'm not going to lie about that. But I also get to go over here and go on vacation and go in when I want to go in, and I get to work with the people that I want to work with. Those 2 things can exist, right? So step 4 is to execute the plan. So we have create your personal vision, create business goals that are going to drive you to your personal vision. Make a plan it out, and then execute the plan. And remember, when you're making the decisions as you're executing the plan, you are going to get caught in the weeds. You are going to feel frustrated. You are going to have people quit. You are going to be fighting fires. I mean, all of the things are still going to be happening. But you're going to stay the course because you have a higher purpose now. Before, you're just going into work and every day feels like the same. And you're just fighting the fires, or you're dealing with clients that are unruly, or hair that's unruly, or whatever it is. But when we create a reason that we're doing what we're doing, it becomes a joy. I get to go and fight the fire. I get to go and help my team. I get to meet with the accountant. I get to do the bills. Not I have to, but I get to. That's coming from two different places when you think, I have to go into work and I have to do this. I have to have these conversations. I have to have these coachings. It's just never ending. As opposed to, I get to do these things because these things are a vehicle for me to live the life that I want to live. Make sense? All right. Throw me any comments as you're hearing this, because we're rounding to the end of our 30 minutes today. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, although I could go on for 2 more days on this because I think it's so important. As we kind of wind down, one of my goals as an owner and one of my goals as a business coach is to help support people to reach their goals in business and in personal. And imagine if our goal as leaders, because we got our goals all like set, right? We're already now on our path to freedom, to that wealth. And now I get to take what I've been doing and share that with my team. And I get to help them design their life, their freedom, and what are the steps that they need to be taking to work the days that they want to work, the hours they want to work, go on the vacations they want to go on. Then I get to do that. But I can't give something that I'm not doing myself, that I'm not giving to myself. So we have to practice that mindset to be able to give that mindset instead of the fear of people aren't working enough. They're not working enough hours. They're not working enough days. No. How can you help them to have a purpose for coming into work? Because when we have a purpose, we work our asses off. We're excited about the work. We come in and we work our booties off to be able to live the life that we want to live. And that's what I want for you guys. Yeah. If you need help with that, if you're here, you know how to reach me, because that's my passion. That's what I feel like my purpose is. It is that for myself, and it is that for my clients, and it is that for my team. So if you need me, you know where to find me. I hope that you have an amazing week and start to create your personal vision, create your business goals, make the plan, and execute the plan. If you need help, hit me up. But have an amazing week, and I will catch you on the flip side, which is next Monday. Write down anything that you want me to talk about. Send me a DM, throw me a message. Let me know what you guys want to hear about, any issues or challenges you're having in your business. I'm happy to address it, try to address it, do the best I can addressing it based on my experience. So I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for you. You guys are my purpose too. So I love being here with you. I hope you have a blessed, blessed week. Mwah. Mwah. Bye. You're welcome, Corey. You're welcome. All right. Bye, guys.